Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I've got the Mavic 2 Zoom again today. Yesterday when I was messing around with the Mavic 2 Zoom, testing out the Rode mic and the Osmo Action camera, we did some active track. So when I was messing around with active track yesterday, I noticed that there's a spotlight mode in the Mavic 2 Zoom. I had never noticed that before. I have a little bit of a confession. I was messing around with the point of interest mode with this guy, and I thought I had kind of found a hack that turned it into spotlight mode. In other words, in point of interest mode, I turned the speed down to 0, and it essentially kind of did the same thing. It would control the gimbal for you, and you could move the drone around. But I have never tried spotlight mode in active track on this guy, so I think we need to try that today. I found out how useful it is on the Mavic Air 2, so I definitely want to try it with this guy. So yeah, we're gonna do it on our favorite cell phone tower back here, and we're gonna make that kind of the point of interest and spotlight, so to speak, and see if we can get some parallax shots and things with this guy, and see if the gimbal will track that point of interest. So let's quit messing around and let's get the Mavic 2 Zoom up in the air. Okay, I'm all hooked up here and ready to go, and you can see on the status screen it's telling me everything is normal, so we really don't need to calibrate anything. Let's format the SD card just for the fun of it. Giving us the good old DJI safety tips, and we're looks like we're ready to go. We've got 89% battery. I actually used this battery this battery when I did the updates yesterday. So I got the mower running around the other side. He's going to be real close to me here, so it might get kind of loud. I'm going to pause here for just a second. It's kind of wild. I swear this guy's he's just having fun driving that thing around like a go-kart. Okay, so we are in 4K 30 frames per second, and I had it set on sunny day. We can go look at that. Yeah, white balance, well, looks like that is in automatic. So we want to put it on sunny day. It's a partly cloudy day today, but I'm going to put it on sunny because I think it's mostly bright. Let's go ahead and start recording now. The other thing I wanted to tell you is they're saying that we could have wind gusts up to 27 miles an hour. There's thunderstorms blowing in. It says sustained 11 up to 27 mile an hour gusts. It does not feel quite that windy. It is windy, as you can tell, but not quite that much. Okay, let's get this thing in the air. Okay, so I went straight up about 8 meters, and we'll let it sit there for a second, get a good look at its landing spot, and then we're going to go up and look at our favorite cell phone tower, and we'll go into the active track. Okay, that should be good enough. Let's go. Okay, so we're centered on it. Let's go straight up, and I'm going to click on the little, it looks like a little remote control. I'm going to agree with that, and we are going to go into active track. Click OK on that, and at the bottom we have spotlight. So we're going to click on spotlight. You know, I wish I had noticed that before. So I'm going to click go, and in theory it should take the drone a second to figure its distance from that spot. I don't know. Looks like it probably has it. So let's go ahead and I should be able to just do a rotation around. I'm going to put the right stick to my right, and the drone should just simply rotate around the head of the cell phone tower, and that's exactly what it's doing. So let's try a parallax move. Let's raise in height while we're doing that. And it is. I see it's kind of, well, kind of moving away from it. Let's see if we can get closer. Yeah, I moved too far away there, so it kept kind of moving away from it. So let's move in on it again and see if it. Yeah, so I've got the stick full forward, and it continues just to rotate, even in the forward state. So that's odd. I'm not really getting closer to it. I can go above. So what happens if I pull back on the stick? Yeah. So if I pull back on the stick, it's going the other way. It's going clockwise now and bringing it in closer. So this is interesting. This is not quite like the spotlight in the Mavic Air 2. So how do I get back in closer? Guys, I'm at a loss here. So I went, yeah, so that's weird. So now I'm full stick to the left, and it is coming in closer. So that's interesting. Interesting how it does that. So the controls are a little different. So when I go to the left, it brings me closer to the point of interest. And when I go to the right, it takes me out. So now I'm full stick up. Yeah, that's interesting. So let's go full stick to the left and see what happens here. Yeah, so now when I go to the left, I've got to tell you, I'm a little confused at the controls here. It's when I go to the left, it's taking me away and in a counterclockwise rotation. So this is something that I'll have to experiment around in. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to go with the stick full down, the right stick full down. Yeah, so then that is giving me a counterclockwise rotation. What if I go, let's go full to the right. So the right stick full to the right, and it's bringing me in. And I'm dropping in height at the same time. And it's kind of a good parallax view here, and I'm raising now. And this is kind of cool because look, it's taken me right over the top. And over the other side. So does it depend on which way you are? I'm telling you, I'm going to have to do some research here, guys, because the way that right stick, you would think up would bring you towards the point of interest, down would take you away from it, left would make you go clockwise, and right counterclockwise, and that doesn't seem to be the case. Okay, I'm going to go full stick down on the right stick, and it's giving me a clockwise rotation now, and doesn't seem to be affecting the distance. Well, maybe we are going further away. We definitely are. Okay, so let's go full stick up. I mean, I feel like I'm getting some kind of cool shots here, but it is not, you know, I don't feel like I am, I feel like I'm just kind of guessing at what the drone is going to do, other than altitude here. So I am full stick up now, and we are in a counterclockwise rotation. Okay, let's go full to the left, the right stick all the way to the left, and it's going to bring us in. Look at that. And I am going to descend here. So then with the, it's bringing us in, and with the left stick I was descending, and now it's bringing us in a counterclockwise rotation, and then out. So let's go full stick to the right now. So I've got the right stick all the way right, and again it's bringing us in and around the object. And then if I've got this right, yeah, now it's starting to take us away. So I'm going to ascend while we're doing that. So these are some pretty cool shots, but you definitely would want to experiment around with this. So let's go the right stick, full stick up. And it's definitely going away from our point of interest and counterclockwise. Okay, so let's try that then with the right stick, full stick straight down. And then it does seem to be clockwise and then coming back in. Well, that's interesting. But not very far, is it? So the only way I can come in on the point of interest is either full right or full left. So again, we're going to push the right stick full to the left. Yeah, and it's coming in, and I'm descending as well with the left stick. And this is going to make for a pretty cool shot. That is neat. Okay, and then I'm going to ascend at the same time. Okay, so that's what that'll do for you. So you're just going to have to experiment around a little bit. It is unusual. I'd like to read up on that a little bit and see exactly. I mean, this is all just trial and error on my part. Okay, so let's go full stick right, and let's see if we can do the opposite of what we just did. And it seems to be the case. It's coming in on the point of interest and going around it, and then should accelerate away from it, and I'm going to raise at the same time. That's pretty cool. Those are the kind of parallax shots that I would struggle on my own. So I wonder, let's try something else. I am going to go at about the 27 degree mark. So on the right stick, I am going to go up and to the right, about halfway between, and let's see what that does. So it's rotating counterclockwise and it's moving away. So we're going to go the opposite of that. We're going to go down. So this would be about I don't know, 207 degrees, something like that. So we're halfway between full stick left and straight down on the right stick. So it's coming in closer and it's rotating clockwise. So that's cool, and then it moves away. Yeah, and the drone is just about right above me now. Okay, so I'm going to try this again. I'm going to try that. I'm having fun. I'm full stick right, and I am going to descend. I was thinking it would get closer, but it's not. So let's go the other way. I said I was going full stick left there. I'm sorry. I think I said full stick right. We're going to go full stick right now. Yeah, and it's just rotating. Okay, so I am going to go straight down with the stick, with the right stick. And that's going to take me away. Okay, so straight up with the right stick. Yeah, and that's bringing me in closer. And we should do a strafe on the tower here. Is that cool or what? Now I gotta say that was cool. Yeah, I mean, here's the problem I'm having is though, it's setting these things up. I'm doing this almost by accident. Man, is that a cool shot or what? So now I am full stick to the left. On the right stick, I'm all the way left. Nice thing about having 360 obstacle avoidance on this drone, you're not worried about trees or anything else. Okay, enough of that. I think we've kind of demonstrated that. So that operates a little differently than what I saw on the Mavic Air 2. But it's interesting nonetheless. So let's get out of that. I'm going to click on the X. And we're going to click on active track again, and we're going to go into normal mode. Let me get closer to the head of the tower again. And we're getting low on battery here, so I'm going to show you the trick that I did the other day. So I'm going to go into point of interest, and yeah, I'm going to draw the tower as the point of interest. Frame selection is too small, so let's get a little closer. And let's try that again. And it may not see it against the background. Yeah, it did. So it's going to start. It's adjusting itself right now, trying to doing the calculation, and then it's starting the circle. But what I'm saying is, you hit pause, and you set the speed to 0. Didn't mean to do that. Set the speed to. Well, I think I need to start again. And then set the speed to 0. So then hit pause. So now I can control the drone with the sticks, and it'll keep the gimbal on that point of interest. So I'm going to go forward and up. And you notice how it keeps the gimbal right on the point of interest. And then if I wanted to do a manual rotation clockwise, I'm going to go full stick left, and it's doing nothing. So I would have to set the speed. Yeah, so it's not doing anything. So no, I'll tell you what I need to do. I need to click start. I'm sorry, I had it on pause there. So once I click start, then I can do that. So I'm going to go to the left here. Yeah, and you can see that speed gauge go up. I just wanted to show you how that worked. And I'm going to go left, and I'm going to raise an altitude. And that's kind of a spiral. And now we'll lower altitude with the left stick. So I'm controlling the speed myself and the altitude. And I can go away from it if I want here too. And go the other way. And then let's raise an altitude. So that's the kind of point of interest or spotlight mode that I seem to be able to do with the Mavic Air 2. Anyway, it's all interesting stuff. Let's, as I recall, it won't let me go over the top of it here. It's going to go into return to home here in a second. Yeah, so it's really slow moving forward. I remember that from trying it the other day. So the drone is moving very slowly. Well, let's hit return to home and let's see if we can get a precision landing. We're not very far from where we're at here. So the drone is very close. It's coming very quickly. The remaining battery is only enough for return to home now. So let's see if we get that. I'm going to drop the gimbal down here so you can see it's orienting itself. Let's see if we can get that precision landing. It's coming. Precision landing. I think we're going to get it. Well, it moved off a little. Let's see if it finds it again. Yeah, it did. It's going to hit right in the middle of the H. They're pretty close. Pretty close. I don't know. I'll take that. What do you guys think? Pretty darn good. Okay, let me get it all shut down here and we'll do a quick conclusion. Okay, the Mavic 2 Zoom. That was kind of fun messing around with that. Now, I'd be joking if I told you I fully understood how that worked in spotlight mode. I would have thought that moving the right stick up would move you closer to your point of interest. Pulling it back would be further away. Obviously turning right would bank right, turning left would bank left. It didn't quite work that way. When I would bank, I'm trying to remember how it worked, right or left, it would come in closer and then go the other side, go to the other side. It would keep the gimbal right on the point of interest, and it made for some pretty cool shots. It was weird, pushing the stick up and down would also rotate it and move it away. So I'm not quite sure I understand how that control is supposed to function, so probably have to do some more investigation into that. But the left stick, although I didn't try yaw, because you're on a point of interest, so why would you do that? However, I did raise and lower altitude, and that made for some pretty cool, we got some pretty cool parallax shots there, going right over the top of the tower and so forth, and it kept the camera right on it, and then rotated around it. It was pretty cool. And then I showed you my fake version of spotlight mode in point of interest. And that was kind of weird. You got to do everything just right. And forward motion is very, very slow, so it makes it difficult. But it is kind of cool in that one that you can control the speed with the stick. In other words, if you just went into the circle mode, the rotation mode, you're just setting it with that dial or the slider on the screen. Whereas if you do it the way I did it, you could vary the speed with the right stick, whether you went right or left, and at the same time you could vary the altitude. So you could essentially, well, wouldn't be a, well, I guess it would be kind of a spiral, although you're not moving away. So maybe you could move away, rotate, and do a spiral that way. But the advantage to both of these modes, doing it the kind of hack way that I did in point of interest, and then doing it actually in spotlight mode in active track, is that it frees you from having to control the gimbal. The gimbal will stay on your point of interest. So that's pretty handy. It's, you know, when you're trying to move the sticks and then control that thumb wheel can be difficult sometimes. So in any case, that's just what it'll do. I'm quite sure, this is the Mavic 2 Zoom, I'm quite sure it would work the same on the Mavic 2 Pro. As I recall, with the Mavic Air 2, the right stick in spotlight mode worked just like you thought it would. Push forward, it would come closer to the point of interest. Pull it back, it would go further away. Right, it would bank right. Left, it would bank left. So I'm going to have to get the Mavic Air 2 out and mess around with spotlight mode some more as well to make sure I've got that right. But anyway, just a fun little bit of experimenting with the Mavic 2 Zoom. I hope you found this helpful and enjoyable. I guess that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I really appreciate you taking a look at this video, and we absolutely will see you on the next one. All right, talk to you later.